Okay, so I hope you're watching this video after you watched the first three videos, which is the product navigation, how to set up voice AI pods, and how to configure your client portal. Because if you haven't watched them, then skipping to this video wouldn't make a lot of sense and you miss most of the major items that you need to accomplish before you actually set up a client portal, right? So I'll just summarize the steps you need to take. Before you go ahead and create client accounts, client accounts are portal where you are basically offering them agents or campaigns or assets that you want them to see. So for them to be able to access all of that, and even for you to be able to view it on your client portal, those need to exist, right? So for them to exist, you need to make sure that you have created those assets. So for example, I have this VAPI pod, and if I enter this pod, inside this pod, I have synced a couple of assistants from my VAPI account. I have a couple of phone numbers that I've synced, and I'm not going to go into knowledge base and tools, but let's say I have synced these items into this pod, right? And I have also created a couple of campaigns. We'll go deep down into campaign functionality in one of our videos, but for now, um, you can create inbound and outbound campaigns inside VoiceAIWrapper. You can also create white label web widgets inside VoiceAIWrapper. So I've created some of these, and I've also created something which is unique to VoiceAIWrapper called number pools. Right? So all of this I've created inside this pods, which means now these are assets inside this particular pod. Yeah. And after I created this, now I have assets which are now available in my account that I can now share when I create client portals. So when I create client portals, the first steps are very simple. Give it a name, add user logins for the clients to log in your access your portal, and then the next step would be to associate items that you want to work inside the client portal. That's where you need all these items that I showed you a couple of minutes back, right? So I'll go into one that I've already configured. So for example, this is a client account, and I've created a configuration called AlphaCo. So what is a client account? Once again, this is the name of the client, and each client can have configurations. What are configurations? Configurations are combinations of agents plus knowledge base plus tools. You might want to, there are some agencies who have like one configuration per client. There are some agencies who have multiple configurations. You might be an agency working with a client, and you might be running something for their customer success team. You might be running some other config with their sales team. So that's why we allow you to configure those, customize those configuration. You can add multiple configurations to your client account. So just for context, if this is a dummy client account I'm using for this demo, so you see this drop down, it says AlphaCo. So assuming I was part of the sales team, this would probably say sales org. If I was part of customer success, they would say customer success. Sales team would have different type of assistants, different type of campaigns. Customer success would have different type of campaigns. You can do stuff like that. You can, of course, create absolutely completely different portals for different teams in the same company, or you can have everybody log into the same portal and have different configurations for different teams. So that's why we give you that flexibility here. Now, if you notice this configuration that I've created, I have associated the items which I just showed you inside my VAPI pod. I have associated the agents to this, and I've given it view only rights, right? I can also allow people to edit the agent prompt, which I don't want them to do. So I've just done view only. And then no workflow access, phone numbers, I can hide it, but I've decided to make it visible. And no knowledge base access. No, I want them to see campaigns. I don't want them to be able to edit. So I've given them two campaigns, inbound and sample. Bad names, but it's a demo account. And then I have some more granular campaigns controls, right? I've given them, I want them to be able to edit their leads and all of that. So so the rest of the things are self-explanatory. Now I've given them these campaigns, and the reason I see these campaigns is because I've created them in the first place. Without this, you won't see anything here. So the first step before you even start configuring client accounts is to create campaigns and sync assistants and phone numbers inside your respective voice AI pod. Yeah, I have created these, so I'm gonna hit next. I get a summary page which says, okay, this is what your configuration looks like. I have given them access to a dashboard. I've assigned 2 assistants, phone number, and I'm going to just update. I'm happy with this. Yeah. So now the last step would be to associate billing with the client. So I'm going to do a separate video on how to set up products. But for billing, you would first of all need to ensure that you have a Stripe pre-connected with VoiceAIWrapper. That creates the connection between your Stripe account and VoiceAIWrapper. And then you can go into products and create a product type of your choice. Select billing frequencies. There's a whole load of options out there in this feature. So I'll do a detailed video on this separately. But for now, once you have created that product, you can go inside the client account, go to billing, and you can go ahead and just assign that plan to that client account. Assigning it means when the client logs in with the user ID and credential that you have created for that client, they would hit a paywall, which is your Stripe account, and they would need to pay before they start using your services. Okay, so that's how you create a client account. Now, if you want to test it out, of course, all of us would want to do that before we share it with an actual client. I would go ahead and set up a user here, and I can just click on this login as a user, right? So this is going to open up a screen, and it's going to take me to my client portal, right? So in my case, my client portal has this chat widget, which I just added. This is the chat widget which I added in my client portal here, right? This is the code. So I get to see the chat widget, and I have the dashboard. Yeah, and then I see the assistants. Remember the assistants that I connected? Both of them show up here, and I had 2 campaigns. So if I go to campaigns, I can see them here. I have given them access to view analytics, so my clients can see analytics. Yeah, I've given them access to a control campaign, so they have an option to activate and deactivate campaigns. I can decide not to give them access. Then I've given them my clients have an option to control their billing, right? So this is the plan that I assigned to them. It's active. They can cancel the subscription. They can buy add-on packs. They have full control. It's a proper, fully functional SaaS product. And I had also added 2 custom pages here, right? So I've added a about us page and a question page. Both of them are an iframe. Now let's see how they look like on the client side. Okay, so I'm going to head over to the custom page that I created with Lovable. So there you go, right? So this is something which is created on Lovable. It's an external page. I can still embed it as a FAQ page. And then about us, I've created an external link which takes them to my so-called website. It's not. So in case you want people to go to your brand website, you want to take them somewhere else, you can add your own custom links here. All right, I hope this helps. This is how you set up your client portals and you test them before you share it with clients. We have another feature which automates the entire client onboarding process. I'll do a detailed video on that in a bit.